Hello and welcome once again everyone. Today's video features a preview of the still work in progress American battleships covering the USS Florida, USS Kansas, USS Minnesota and USS Vermont. I'm including the timestamps here on screen so you can navigate easily to find the exact one you are interested in. I hope you enjoy the video and gain some insight into these work-in-progress US battleships. Trying to get over a little bit of the heat here. It's actually quite warm here today. Not as warm as all across the continent, but it's not too bad. The sun came out. We were all looking up at that yellow disc in the sky and pointing like cavemen. What's going on up there? It's been raining for the last 3 or 4 days, maybe even longer. So we'll start with the Florida, I guess, the Tier 7. I was going to wait until a few more came in now, but there's a couple coming in there now. Hello Ripel, good evening sir. I might come back to them at some stage later, but I'll show them off now. I can only show them in port. I've got the work in progress up. Your home state indeed. You're central Florida, Poseidon, right? I think if I remember correctly, Central Florida. Hello Submariner. Hello Dante. Hello, good evening. Hello everyone. So this is, I'll quickly start off with the Florida. Now you must remember, this is work in progress. All these ships are, everything you see here right now in the port that's marked with the special category, they're all works in progress, so all subject to change. 36 degrees, my goodness. I mean, that's smoking. I think the hottest I ever experienced was 39, and it was hard to breathe. It was absolutely oppressive. Hello Blue Hat, hello from Venice, Italy. Welcome sir, welcome to the stream. How are you today? What's the temperature in Venice like today? 46 degrees Celsius, holy crap. I mean, you're hiding in the basement. In an ice bath with that kind of temperature at over 50 degrees in Oz. Yeah, Australia gets a bit extreme. That's nuts. That's nuts. So let's go quickly through this. Again, you're going to see this 25mm bow. It's like cruiser armor. I know it's only tier 7, but still. Upper bow, upper armor belt, I mean, 26mm. Then 285, 213. Turrets, not too bad, I guess. 406. Sides are semi-sloped, not too bad. But not the greatest of armor. It's tier 7, I guess, so it's to be expected. It's 63k, 26% damage reduction. You get 4 heals, that's with Superintendent. Get 4 mod slots. Quickly go through them. No accuracy mod, of course, with the American battleships. You're basically limited to boosting your AA or range or turret traverse, so I've gone for the turret traverse. Get 12 guns, 356mm. Alkmaar, Holland. Here in Venice, it's incredibly hot. Fabulous time to have fun on the beach. What's Venice like at the moment? Is it open back up? Are the public out on the move? It's one of those real holiday cities. I guess it's really been suffering since the outbreak. Hello, Cavi. Good evening, sir. How are you today? Yeah, that's the kind of problem you're going to face a lot with the Florida. You're going to have Tier 9 matchmaking. Musashis and the like will laugh when they see that 25. And it's not small either. I mean, this is one of the slimmest US battleships. And she's no supermodel. She's reminiscent, kind of something similar to North Carolina model. Hello, Saibul. Welcome, sir. Bollywood, a lot of interest. That's awesome, Blue Hat. Thank you for stopping by. Welcome to the stream again. So these guns, they're not too bad. Playing around with them a little bit. Shell speeds, not great, but the dispersion isn't too bad. 204 meters at max range, which is 18.6. Like, if you get low tier games, pretty fun ship. Secondary, not a whole lot to write home about. Just basic 5-kilometer range. You're not going to be getting any fancy secondary builds. Well, not ones that will nerf the ship into the ground. But these turrets are pretty good. I mean, you get 12 of them, 3 quadruple turrets at tier 7. Not too bad. You could be very easily mistaken into thinking at first glance it's the North Carolina, until you look a little closer and then realize no, it's not quite. So AA again, 5.8, 318 continuous damage, 5 flak explosions. You do get defensive fire, which is helpful, because you will be getting a lot of tier 8 games. That's guaranteed. So you'll be facing a lot of tier 8 carriers. So that defensive fire is going to come in. It's going to be quite useful. You will be using it quite a bit. So I've played around with this maybe 6-7 games so far, and not bad. I can't talk about my opinion as yet, but max speed, again, this is where we see this is actually one of the speedboats when it comes to the American battleships. We got 27 knots, turning circle 760, rudder shift, it's sluggish. That is without the flags. Boosted up with a flag, you can get 28.4 knots. This is one of the speedboats of the new American ships. Yeah, a speedboat. So you can imagine what's to come when I show you the Kansas and the Minnesota and the Vermont. One thing I forgot to say here, the reload 30 seconds. So not terrible, not jaw-droppingly fantastic either, but you get decent concealment. 12.1 kilometers. So not terrible. So let's go to the tier 8. Now you can see straight away the difference in me. Turn off the UI for a second. Very similar to that New Mexico, Colorado style. These are big boats. Very big, thick boats. I do like the smokestacks there in the middle though. See how the zoom in? See how the funnels are worked in together there? Quite well done. Radar tower. No radar, of course, but you do get the tower. Looks impressive. Thick indeed, yes indeed. So let's look at the armor. So we're at tier 8 now, remember? This is the Kansas. So you do get the basic 32mm bow, which you're going to need. You're going to be playing tier 9s, tier 10s a lot, so you need that minimum 32mm bow. You can see how this extra torpedo protection makes the ship look so big, so wide. I mean, they don't call them thick for nothing. Take off the torpedo protection. See, you get very good fore-end armor belt, 273mm. So that does a lot to protect. You can see those front turrets are very well protected with that 273mm belt on both sides. Very well protected. The main casemate armor, 343mm, what am I saying? The bulkhead. The upper belt is also 32, along with the deck. So pretty good. Your standard 19mm, of course. You don't get any additional protection at the rear. They've put all the armor they could possibly use into this. This is really quite impressive. This 273mm belt. So your players will find out how to utilize that. So let's go through the stats. 67k, 40% torpedo reduction. It's quite good. It would want to be with that big fat torpedo belt on both sides. I'm not surprised it's not something like 50 or 60%. So let's look at the guns. 406mm guns. Again, you get 12 of them. 2, 4, and okay, let's get that off. Why is my board not cooperating? So they're equally split. Both 2, 4 and 2 aft. 12,400 max damage. But the reload. Just look at the reload speed. 40 seconds. And if we come into the mods, that is... You don't get access to slot 6 for helping the reload. Just gone full tank. Again, you don't get accuracy. You get the option to increase your turret speed, secondaries, your AA, or range. The range is quite decent, 22, so I've just gone for the turret traverse again. But when you've got 40 seconds to reload your guns, I mean, turret traverse doesn't make too much difference because you've got so much time between reloads to turn guns. But see now, okay, get off the screen. The reload is 40 seconds and the max dispersion is 287, which feels kind of bad without... We just make great comparisons with other tier 8 battleships. You will be kind of thinking, if you miss a volley, and you will miss with these shells, the time between firing, you really feel punished because the reload time is so long. But that's another matter. 22 kilometers in range. Secondaries again, very short range. I'm not sure there's any reason why you would possibly buff these and try and... You're just too slow to engage any kind of other brawling battleship. You're too slow, you can't disengage. The AA again, 5.8 kilometers in range. Pretty similar. The continuous damage is actually lower than the Florida. Get one extra flak explosion. Maneuverability. Now remember, we're at Tier 8, so we come down to 23 knots. 23 knots. It's going to be tough getting anywhere. You'll get there, but you won't be breaking any records. The idea seems more that they'll be twerkers. Yeah, no, accidental. So that's the speed, 23 knots. And if you throw a flag on there, you can boost it up to a massive 24.2. So you got 24 knots of speed using flags, 40-second reload, and the dispersion is quite poor. Okay, the shells, when they do hit, they do 12.5k almost, but it's an experience. And the concealment, 13 kilometers. That's with a full stealth build. I'll just quickly show you the build. Standard, very standard US battleship tank build. See it here. I haven't tried to do anything crazy whatsoever. Hello Pat, welcome sir. Yeah, Chib, the slow speed it's tough to deal with. I mean, if you're used to this gameplay, hello Snitzel, good evening. If you're used to this gameplay, it's pretty good. You'd be used to that slow speed. It won't affect you. But when you've played primarily DDs and cruisers and you like that fast gameplay, hello Snark, good evening sir. The Hoagie, good evening as well. Sorry if I missed anyone there while I'm going through these. We've covered the concealment. Okay, so that's the Kansas. Let's go to the Minnesota. I'll just take my captain out of the Kansas. Put him into the Minnesota. Let me quickly put the modules. I haven't played this ship, as you can see, obviously. I've only been playing the Florida, the Kansas, and I've played one in the Vermont. Armament. Again, we're going to go with your basic standard US battleship tank mode. You're not going to be maneuvering, you're not going to be dodging shells with your speed or your maneuverability. You're going to be eating damage, tanking like a boss is what you're going to be doing in these ships. Damage control or max tank ailment. Here we look here again, 40 seconds, but here fortunately we have access to reload mod, and that will bring it down to 35.2. Whopping 35.2. Want to meet the new US battleships in my Assasio? Well, aren't they the ideal target? I mean, okay, they've got pretty good torpedo belts, but that only means you can land more torpedoes. That's. But this is the Minnesota. So let me. Did we finish putting the modules? Yes, we did. Okay. So let's look at the armor first. Again, your standard fare, 32 mils. I'll just go the upper sections first. Let me reduce the size of this. This is interfering with the... Okay. So 32 mils. Here again, similar to the Kansas, you have this semi-icebreaker bow, 273 millimeters. Again, both sides, so very well protected from the front. 343 millimeters main casemate armor. For belt, 32. Main deck, 32. So you will take a lot of fire damage, but not penetration damage from... They will have to be fitting for IFHE and that extra pen, a lot of them. It's just one fat boat. I haven't played this one yet, but the very similar style to the... Again, the turrets are pretty well protected. 457. Slope sides. Survivability, again 40%. Torpedo reduction, 76k. Again, not incredible. AP bombers will have a field day on these ships. Literally a field day. Okay, sorry, jumping too far ahead. Again, 406mm guns, 12 of them. 35 seconds reload. Again, massive dispersion, 293. 293. It's... When you picture something that I was playing the other day, maybe, like the Slava, 212 meters dispersion. You can see already a comparison of highly accurate and highly inaccurate. Now, they haven't told us the actual sigma of these guns, but when I see dispersion values 293, kind of think gonna be tough hitting stuff with this at long range. Plus slow shell speed of only 762. If they're similar to the California, well, they are similar, very similar style play from what I've seen so far. Again, secondaries have a little bit more base range, 6 kilometers compared to the previous two, both having 5. But again, to go secondary build, you just do not have the mobility. Like if I quickly come down to the mobility again, 23 knots. You're crawling across the battlefield. You think the Sigma is 1.7 chip? Okay. Yeah, we'll have to get that confirmed from Wargaming staff before I can publicly claim that it's the case. But if you've read that somewhere, it's probably the temporary values that they've assigned. So we go back to the AA again, 5.8, your standard fare. You do again get access to... No, you don't. Unlike the Kansas, you only get a choice between fighter and spotting aircraft. No defensive fire with the Minnesota. At least not yet. That's the AA. Covered the maneuverability, 23 knots. Turning circle is okay, but very sluggish rudder shift. Concealment, 13.8 kilometers. So disengaging Forget about it. Not going to happen. It is 1.7. Okay, well done. You've both read it somewhere, obviously. So this is the Minnesota. Let's go look at the Vermont. Quickly put the captain in, exact same captain from the Minnesota. I have played one in this. Standard fare again, no accuracy mod. So I've gone for main battery. You get the reload, fortunately. And let's start with the armor layout. Here you get 32 mils, but as you can see, no juicy icebreaker bow like the two previous, like the Kansas and the Minnesota. Vermont, Georgia with double the guns, literally half the speed. Well, literally half the speed indeed. We just skip ahead again, 23 knots. It's the standard fare for Kansas, Minnesota and Vermont, not to get any kind of speed increase, not reduction, but increase. It feels punitive, such a slow speed. But before going there, let's look at finish looking at the armor, of course. So what immediately stands out is no icebreaker bow. You have the standard 32 mils. Again, the deck 32 mils. Again, the rear. So, do they want you playing this ship stern towards the enemy? It would definitely seem so. Because the stern gets complete coverage of 292 mils. So they seem to want you to play this ship stern towards the enemy to increase your survivability. And it's funny because it just seems counterintuitive. They want you to kite in this ship, but you can't kite because you simply don't have the speed to be able to kite. So it feels a little strange to see this armor setup at the rear. I mean, to be able to kite, you need speed or you need mobility, and you've got neither. So it seems a very strange decision to me, this 292 mils at the stern, because 19.1 rudder shift. I mean, I've seen old ladies move faster. Turning circle again. Kremlin is just over 1,000 meters, so it's Kremlin-esque. And the speed. Battleships in reverse will be able to catch you. Literally. So, let's look at the guns. No, survivability first, of course. You do get plenty of hit points, 102k. You get 5 healed, so you will be able to tank damage, hopefully. That's a lot of starting HP. Again, there are plenty of other battleships that have similar. Again, your standard 40%, same as Minnesota and Kansas. Main guns. You get an upgrade in caliber, 457s. 35-second reload. And again, the dispersion is even worse than the Minnesota at 305 meters max dispersion. Hello, Brig. Won't these ships just be camping ships like the UK ones? Well, the UK ones have speed and mobility. These do not. So I'm not quite sure how you're going to be playing these at top tiers. I think these ships are going to be XP pinatas for the enemy team. I mean, you're looking at something like this on the enemy team that has got poor concealment, it's slow, and can't maneuver. So you're going to need every drop of HP. Is Florida playable for Big Red? I have been playing it, but I'm not allowed to show any gameplay on stream, I'm afraid. They're all still covered. If I quickly put up the carousel properly, these are all the test ships at the moment, but they're all still covered by NDA. I can answer any questions you have about them, stats wise, armor setups, and I can show them in port, but I can't show any gameplay or give my own personal opinion on these ships yet. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.